And first time I've seen people struggling because they're saying that we're going to give you best schools, we're going to give you best education, we're going to do that, and all the election rhetoric. So after some time, there was an old lady who was like blinded right from her childhood. She was around 60-year-old. And first time till then I never knew people without eyeballs actually they can try. It never came to my experience. I'm not a science student to understand. First time that the lady was trying, I said, guys, I don't know what you're going to do, but we need just water. They're requesting for to have a basic water, nothing else. We don't want anything. We need drinking water. To get the drinking water, we have to go all the way to a few kilometers away. We are struggling. Could you get us water? That deeply pained. But like I heard about it, I went back to another constituency, and they put it just a few kilometers away. I'm talking about from that place is the next meeting I went. It was of 60 kilometers away, and they put this kind of mineral water bottle in front of me, and I felt so guilty. They're lacking of water. Here I get a mineral water. I felt like a criminal. And after somehow I lost interest in the political process, I only told my friends and someone who was following me, I said, can you do something till we get into it? We don't know whether we're going to win or not, but at least can you do something about it? And luckily, a few friends came forward and some water, who could identify the water bodies on the ground, they were there. And within no time, they could dig a borehole. In the next 1 week, they had a drinking water there. For me, what I'm trying to tell you is, if I, as an individual, if I could do that much, can you imagine the power of machinery? Can you imagine the power of government? What they're capable of doing? Then I said, what made them not to go ahead and do it? Because nobody, it's not that I'm saying the entire political class is like that, but majority, they don't have great interest. For them, what is the next move? What is the next way to earn, to get benefits? It is like the apple polishing attitude of a political class is really denying the development of the underprivileged. And this is what really pains me. And if you ask me, like, to talk about how the global emergence of, how India can raise a global power, I don't have that kind of experience. And there are enough experts, there are enough intelligent intellectuals out there who has a better idea about it. What I can say is, I can speak on behalf of common men because I have been there, I lived there, and I come from a lower middle class background. And finally became an actor, and I could like to address these issues. And so that I know the pain of each one. And we talk about women empowerment. For me, there are a few key issues which I would like to bring it to your notice today. One is about the women empowerment. There is heavy budget for everyone and everything. And women empowerment, in our schools, there is no personal hygiene for growing girls. And they have enough money and somehow does not reach them. That's the problem there. And today we want, women are the biggest force. We want to empower women. And first of all, you have to give them a healthy lifestyle. Even the so-called social welfare hospitals are there. And they're heavily being neglected. And these are the issues which are burning issues. And also the major problem in India is the women's safety. The women's safety is such a big concern. And what Gandhi says, in the middle of the day, a woman could really walk, that would be the right, that's where we had achieved the freedoms. But in reality, even in daytime, if someone has to go, that's quite a risky situations are there, even in my own kith and kin, what they go through. So for me, what I wanted to do is, these situations are there, even in my own kith and kin, what they go through. So for me, What I wanted to do is, first of all, we should have a great, very powerful law and order situation should be there. Law and order should be really controlled, have a great say in safeguarding women. To get one Nirbhaya Act, when I say it is passiveness which really pulls back India. To get one Nirbhaya Act, because right from my childhood I have seen, because I grew up with my sisters and aunts, I know that how they used to suffer. They never used to feel safe to go out on the roads. To get one Nirbhaya Act, it took government for 60 years plus. That has to happen in Delhi. Unless it happens in Delhi, they don't wake up. Everything cannot happen in Delhi to make them understand. They have to feel the country, they have to feel the pulse of the country, they have to feel the pulse of the people, which is missing. And recently I was talking about for example, the state has been divided, like we come from Unified Andhra Pradesh. When the state has been divided, what they did was, right from 69 to 72, both the states want to get separated. This is an example. I don't belong to the generation. I don't know what exactly happened around 40 years back. It was not under my control. But the brunt. But I'm facing the problem today. Somehow, it was quite painful because why? We will say India has to be one. We should feel the oneness here. One way to say in India, the Constitution says we should be together. We should be as one individual entity and force. But in reality, they keep on dividing. As long as the divisive politics and vote bank politics are there, these kind of issues keep arising, and India's progress will be constantly taking a back step. We go one step forward with this kind of divisive and vote bank politics, constantly constantly looking at people as a vote bank. For me, I know a lot of political leaders. They don't look at people as people. People are filled with emotions, people are filled with love of pain, people are filled with love. But what they look at them is, that's my vote bank. This particular caste is my vote bank. The particular region is my vote bank. They don't see them as humans. In politics, we should get a human angle. They are filled with emotion, they are filled with love and affection. We have to address that issue. Unless we address the individual as, we have to recognize as individuals, not as a vote bank. Till we do it, India is going to get affected by this kind of divisive politics, this kind of vote bank politics. And after seeing this, because for me, the reason why I came into politics was, I don't want another generation, the future generations has to suffer like me. I don't want them to suffer. Today I live a comfortable life. There's no need for me to come. But I said, for me, I felt like a service. I can't ignore. I'm thinking, man. I said, I feel painful. I feel extremely sad looking at the kind of situation. Somehow, what best I can do? I don't have strength, and I don't belong to any huge political party. I'm not extremely rich. But I said, what best I can do within my means? Then I established the party, and I started highlighting each and every issue. Knowingly, getting into politics is like, it's a battle which cannot be won, and a destination which cannot be reached. I know it, and still I came into politics to serve my nation and to serve our people. We should understand, we have to define development. Development is for each individual means different. For me, a lady in Adilabad, her development is only a water every day. That's not development. For someone else, it is another kind of development. Maybe a housewife, it is nothing but to get her TV all right. And for a student, maybe a simple student, he needs a playground to play. This is what development means. Here we say that India is rising, India is achieving great standards, but the standards are not reaching to to the majority of our Indians. And that's why you can see, even in Tamil Nadu or other states, you have to understand why these large youthful protests are happening. Today we talk about the dividend. The great people of 19 to 20 demographic dividend. We want to reap the demographic dividend. But actually, in reality, what exactly we are doing for them? People don't do anything for them. They just plan. They keep on saying so many things. They keep on like, we're going to do for this, we're going to for youth. They announce a lot of measures, but actually, in reality, how much it is translating to whom it is reaching are two different things. That's why today, if you look at in Tamil Nadu, you know how many of you know about it. Lots of people came for Jallikattu, which is a traditional game of Tamils, to tame a bull. But the undercurrent reality which was there a few months before, they were saying that restlessness in our state, because the political situation is so volatile and no one is focusing on the ground, and very soon they went out in a different form, we don't know in which form. And we could see that Jallikattu we should not see as a mere anger on taming the bull, like, when the Supreme Court said against taming the bull. It's not just about that, it is their frustration. You want to reap the demographic dividend, unless we identify them, we recognize them, and unless we channelize their energy, till now, India is going to see a rise of this kind of protest, including Andhra Pradesh, including Telangana, and including even recently I have seen in Gujarat. This is what is going to happen. This has to be addressed. And we talk about, and one more thing, India has to focus on education. And we look at most of the India is rural India and urban India. In urban there are a lot of sectors. And if you look at each school, the urban schools, there is no one out there. There are no right playgrounds, there are no right facilities. Including when I was growing up, I never had a playground in my own school. I thought it was confined to my times, or it was confined then, but actually even if you look at it right now, all the urban areas doesn't have a playground. And here we want to reap the advantage of demographic dividend, and yet we can't even provide a basic playground to our own children. And not even the state government or central government actually doesn't look at it. In which way, if we keep on ignoring all this, in which way we're going to reap the demographic dividend, in which way we can raise to reach that, how can we become a global power if we don't correct ourselves? My purpose is not to undermine, but unless we highlight our issues, unless we highlight our flaws, what exactly are happening, unless we correct them, it's going to be a difficult challenge. What's happening in our country is, as progress, we take one step forward and we create a situation, we go back 2 steps. That's what is happening in our country. For example, demonetization. We are going at such a beautiful pace when the demonetization is announced. What happened was, in my own 100 people died within our country. And all these people who died were nothing to do with the law. They were not corrupt. They were simple, middle class, hard-working people. And they are the ones who died. And including in my own state, a man who later got to know their family, the old man went there, okay, I'm going to get some money from the banks, just staying in a queue for 2 days to get his money drawn. To draw his money, to withdraw his money, waited for so many hours, and he died of a heart attack. And these are the things which are actually hampering the growth of our nation, because without doing the proper exercise, if you try to enforce this kind of laws, this kind of situation, pass this kind of law, the damage is going to be much more. And these are the things which all of us have to address. And today we talk about, you have to understand the kind of political demonetization actually is aimed for people, for black money. Who has the black money? It is not a normal, an average Indian citizen has black money. In which way they will get the money? It is found normally in irrigation projects. The really big irrigation projects are lakhs of crores, thousands of crores, a very small project. But the money, the major money would be taken away from the project. It goes into the certain groups, certain people who are more closer to the political class, who are nearer to closer to governments, the money goes to them. And they are the ones who are stealing the money. And imagine recently when there's a voluntary disclosure scheme in the central government of India announced. And from my own state, the guy says, I have 10,000 crores to announce. You ask them, I said, from where the guy gets money from? It is a collection of, it is like he's a center point. He's just a face for a lot of political people who siphoned off a lot of national wealth and kept with him, and they wanted to project him as their man. Actually, the money belongs to a lot of politicians who had siphoned off money from the irrigation projects. And there is no check on that. And we can't enforce laws on them. The mass demonetization by doing it, who have got affected, the normal man, but the real culprits already, they're free, they have nothing to do with them, they're happy on the roads. And nobody is going to do anything to them. And this is the plight of our country. And with all this, in which way, unless we correct all this, it is very difficult for us to go ahead and to become global power. Unless we correct this, unless we correct the problems within our country, unless we punish the people who are the perpetrators and who are the ones who cycles of this national wealth, then it's going to be very difficult to reach the target of being a global power. And for me, the biggest thing in our country is the law is applied weakly to the strong and strongly to the weak. And if so many incidents are there, a person shoots and can get away. Imagine a simple guy, a normal guy who comes, even in a one way, without a helmet, he'll be punished so hard, but real people who has influence, who have the political affiliation, they shoot people and they get away in nominal punishments. In most of the cases, don't even go to the courts. Somewhere they're confined to hospitals. That's it, they don't go beyond that. And this is what happens in our country. And people who cheat banks, and they're completely shoulder to shoulder with our big leaders. And in which way we can enforce? In which way we can control people? In which way we can make people listen? Because the top, who are the top of the pyramid, if they themselves are doing this case, in which way people are going to listen to them? And also the way people loot the national treasure, the way the people loot the wealth of the nation, including recently said a few years back, if you look at in Ballari, there are a lot of mines who are supposed to pay a lot of taxes and extract the iron ore. What they did was, they take permission for a person's small boat or a small mining area, and they're excavating the entire area without paying taxes. The taxes, the pay, which is supposed to go to banks, which is supposed to go to government, and it is going to the pockets, and the developer is here, taking back stuff there. And those are the guys who are taking the shelter of politician. And unless we correct all this, India is going to get affected. It is going to be pulling down. It's going to be pulling down for a country which wants to emerge as superpower. Unless we correct ourselves, these are the issues which have to be handled. And as I said, law and order is an issue. The biggest challenge in India is to promote tourism. And there's a great possibility with our diversified cultures and vast kind of geographic advantage we have a less tourist percentage. The reason being, one is, as a culture, we don't welcome, though we can really welcome people to make them as stakeholders. The major problem is the safety. Unless we seek to give great security, a great safety for the tourists, unless we strengthen the civil society, we can't be controlled. Only police cannot do that. Unless the civil society gets strengthened, unless we make everyone as a stakeholder to give the kind of protection to the tourists in different aspects, and if we make them as stakeholders, that will be a great advantage. And for me, if we want India to be really on top of the tourism, we have to do really enforce very stringent laws to safeguard women. And women's safety is a priority even for the tourists. Unless we feel that, unless we create that image out of India, Indian tourism will get affected. And Indian government and people, and as a state government, really should focus on the women's safety and also the safety of tourists who come to India. And that is going to give a great boost to our tourism.
Love you, Pawan Kalyan. The democratic comrade.
See, for me, the youth leadership, today we want to talk about the demographic dividend. For me, what I'm doing is, every party looks at youth as political vote bank. In reality, in India, youth means politicians and their families and their grandchildren and their grandchildren. There is no limit. So for me, my biggest challenge, which I'm struggling, which I'm striving, which I'm making an attempt, is how to build up that youth leadership. And if you have to understand, there is a great capacity in Indian youth. We can't just see them as individuals or workforce. They are the creative force of our country, they are the driving force of our country, and that's what the force has to be tapped. Unless we inspire them, unless we become the leading examples, unless we become the embodiment of what we believe in, they're not going to come forward. And for me, every party should look at youth as someone, as a creative force, it's not just as a vote bank. That's what I believe in, and that's what I'm starting up, that's what I'm trying to do in 2019 for Janasena. And in spite of all these adverse conditions what we have, for me, always I believe in the saying that adversity reveals true character. With all these challenges, I still believe if we become as one, we can be the global power, and whatever our intentions are, wherever we want to reach, we can be really the guiding force for this world. And the one major thing which I would like to say, and I would like to close it is, for Telangana and Andhra, because I keep on referring to this issue on purpose, one of the senior political leaders said, though both the states were together as one unit, but as a culture they haven't merged. Entire India, though they say as one, still we don't have the cultural integrity, which is very essential. For me, I keep on addressing these issues from time to time. A guy in Bihar, a guy in UP, don't know much about southern part of India. They don't know much about Tamil Nadu. The leaders I'm talking about. And also at the same time, the people from southern states, they don't have a great idea about what's happening there. This is the way, unless we integrate our cultures. We have a maximum amount to understand Germany. We have the responses to understand France. We don't have any kind of cultural centers within our India to understand each other, which is the essential. The reason is that the recrudescence of identity politics is on the rise. This is going to impact the integrity of the nation. Unless our leaders and our political parties come together as one unit, unless they don't address this cultural differences in identity, and it's going to create a lot of problems. And that's the reason I want to bring it to notice as a culturally, somehow all of us should make an effort to understand each other, which is really needed to feel as one India and to make it to take it to at a global level. Really the kind of global power we are looking at to become the global power, unless we feel as one, unless we culturally get as one unit, it would be very difficult to take it forward. And before finishing this, India is a passive society. Whatever happens, in fact, recently I was talking about a women's day, I keep saying in Bangalore, a woman was being molested in the middle of the road, and the onlookers were just looking at as if they're not a part of it. None has the guts, none has the courage, and none has any strength. One single guy was doing it. They could have thrashed it, but no one has the strength. Can you understand what is crippling our Indian society is that passiveness. How the passiveness has to be addressed. Unless our leaders, the problem is in assemblies, when the elected representatives watch pornography, when sessions were going on. So what kind of message people get? And this is that's how it results at a street level. For me, this is what we have to address this issue. Unless, for me, democracy is something all of us, it's very easy to comment. It's very easy to say this is wrong, this is not possible. Like many million people can comment, but how many people actually can come onto the roads and participate in building of our democracy? How many people actually come physically? It's very easy. It's nice to be on the internet and on Facebook to express your opinion. But in reality, if you come onto the roads, people are going to threaten you. People are going to intimidate you. And which has happened, which keeps happening. They keep threatening you. They keep saying that you feel like you keep on expressing anything and one day we're going to bump you out. I said, I'm fine. But I'm not going to stop whatever. There is a mistakes of their society. If they are chaos in the society, if you want to bump me out, if you want to kill me, I'm fine. I'm ready for it. I'm prepared.
No!
No, because this is the law for my nation. Because I don't want the future generations to suffer unless someone, within my capacity, what best I can do, I will do. So before finishing this, I'd like to say that to tell you the greatness of our country, and to feel what because there's one of my favorite poets is there in Telugu. His name is Seshendra, Dev Seshendra. He passed away in 2006. His works were shortlisted for a Nobel Prize. And I would like to say that first in Telugu. Parvatam epadiki ungi salam cheyu. సముద్రం ఇక్కడ కాళ్ళ దగ్గర కూర్చొని నేనంతా అక్కడికి మట్టే కావచ్చు కానీ కాలంలో దేశం జెండా పొందుకోవాలి. Though it is not translated in, I don't know that the translation is in English or not. It is translated into Hindi and other languages. But I try to translate, though I'm not a poet and I'm not good in English. I try it in my own way to the moment. The mighty Himalayas will never bend down and salute. A roaring typhoon's voice will never be subservient. The deep ocean never barks at anyone. Maybe I'm a handful of dust, but if I raise my voice, you will see the pride and strength in me of my national's wife.
Lal Salam, comrade!
Bharat Mata ki
Jai!
Before finishing, let me say this. India stands for Dharma. India stands for truth. We are the land of Himalayas and historical vineyards. We love everyone, but we fear none. We respect everyone, but we surrender to none. Thank you. Bharat Mata Ki.
You like in Telugu?
Right, so we have about 15 minutes for Q&A. We are going to be able to take all questions. So we'll start that.
We're going to hear Mike.
Hello sir, my name is Rajani Kimli. You are my big inspiration. So I have a question here for you today. How can we contribute from our side to stop the farmers from committing suicide? How can we make the efforts of us and support from here and Janasena integrated with it so we can conquer this problem?
Farmers suicide is a loss. If they don't see any future in what they were going through, they commit suicide. I've been to many families who have committed suicide. The problem is, the hopelessness is not in reality, it is the poverty of thought. When there is enough money to spend on extravagance of governments and politicians, they can readdress the issue. From Janasena point of view, what I'm trying to do is, first of all, you have to instill a lot of confidence. A lot of people are there. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a lot of self-help groups who goes to the farmers. And first of all, they need a hope to survive. They want to survive. So what I'm trying to do is I'm creating a self-help groups where they can go to the farmers who are in a pressing situation. They're going to interest them. And they're going to, sometimes it's in the form of money, sometimes in a kind word, sometimes maybe supporting in different ways. That's what I'm trying to do, in which I'll be
and I actually just tried to get the book to you. The book name is March. I couldn't reach you, so I couldn't.
some kind of animation.
Yes. Sir, my question, before asking the question, I have some few things, sir. Sir, has extreme ideology hindering the growth of country? Has extreme ideology hindering the growth of the country?
Which extreme ideology?
No, sir, I'm just saying because there is right-wing extreme ideology.
Yeah, I understand. Which ideology would be suitable?
Yeah, so there is no same-sex marriage in India. Same-sex marriage is illegal in India. So there are 4 prominent third genders which doesn't have every rights in India. And there is a forcible nationalism that you have to stand up for paying anthems to everything. And there is an extreme left-wing ideology giving the rights of tribes and killing police men. So there are like extreme ideologies. I'm basically the extreme ideologies which are hindering the growth of the country. So I would like to know your opinion on that. Thank you, sir.
You shot like a machine.
Next question.
You spoke about right-wing ideology, you talked about extremist ideology. That's a problem in our country. It's a complex country. There are so many verticals. There's so many thoughts of prevailing thoughts in the society. Not one ideology is going to unite all of us. The problem is we have to understand one left wing and one right wing doesn't really have anything. Somewhere, understand we have to be on a middle path. We have to understand the extremes. The problem is when you're saying where is the need for right wing? In right wing, if you're a fundamentalist of any religion, it could be any religion. For example, I don't want to name the individual or name the religion, but the man is really putting down one religion, gods of one religion. And for me, you're hurting my interest, you're hurting the gods and religions. And now, the problem is, none of the parties, because they do vote bank politics, they don't want to condemn the other guy because they're going to lose a vote bank. They won't say, So who steps in? The right wing steps in to cut down that. So normally people go and get it flat. When there come like people who are very neutral, who can see at a very objective level, if someone is doing a mistake, irrespective of whether I believe that I'm acknowledging that they belong to my tribe, you have to condemn and we're talking about the same gender. Same gender. Third gender. See, in India still, it's very painful. Yesterday, out of it is very painful. In political parties, there is a men being in political parties, there is no third gender being. When I heard a speech yesterday, though I have not empathy for them, first time I felt as a political party, I don't know, rest of the parties have done it. I want to create a third gender being to express their
Next question.
Sir, my name is Pawan. I really like your stance to fight for the special status of Andhra Pradesh, and I would like to share some quick ideas. Quick in one sentence. Build a united international movement by Telugus for the special status of Andhra Pradesh.
See, for me,
here I am not talking about the discrete protests in some of the countries off and on. Why should they unite?
Okay. I got it. So special status issue, when government promises something, better they stand for it. If they can't stand for it, at least let them say why they are not able to stand for it. But simply just because your name is popular and you can't throw your weight around, they say we can't do it. For me, special status is about the word taken back, and there is no humility in them why they are not able to give it, and that's what hurts me. And that's what I'm fighting for. For me, whether you give it or not is the secondary. First, you are accountable and you promise us if you're going back on your word, better come to us and tell us why you're going back. And that's what I'm fighting for.
Thank you. My name is Sati. I'm big admirer of you. My question to you is, you have entered youth in politics, and many of us are here because you have started a party named as Janasena. And my question to you is straight and simple. As you have encouraged you, and we want to join the politics, and we always see surrounded by businessmen like Sharatmara or any producers or any big political party people. But what is the chance that you communicate to the youth of the country, and how do you communicate to the youth of the country, particularly of the Telugu states, and how do you response and ask them to enter the politics?
I have the limitations to canvas with other countries because probably primarily I'm voter trying to work at the stage. So, primarily focusing on both states and and all over this lot of youngsters we need problems. We have to take not just every at state level, maybe the mandal level, at the home level, town level, they want to be able. So what I'm trying to create is I'm trying to, first of all, right now the last 2 years addressing issues because I want to walk what I talk about. Unless I walk the talk. First of all, I don't want to put you at risk. I want you to believe me that I am capable of what I'm saying. And unless I walk the talk, I don't want to do anything. So right now, 2 years have been doing it. Now, maybe 6 months from now, I'm creating that kind of platform where enthusiasts like you or people like you will get an opportunity to get the leadership program.
So we want to take part in development.
I will reach out to you.
Thank you.
I will reach out to you. Yeah.
First of all, thank you for taking us for all these years. And thank you for presenting the public space. We all know how hard it is to be presented to the public space. Your career was always breaking innovative paths for yourself, and then you get the sim of this. Like you always mentioned, you have limitations and stuff like that. But political innovation itself in India is not that easy. Yeah, thanks. So, what's your long-term plan to make sure?
Whatever ideas you believe in, take it forward. Whatever might happen to you, face it. Take it forward. Like I said, be the living embodiment of the principles and values. That's the way you follow. That's what I can do.
Hello, Pastor. This is Nikhil Kasuri from Central. I have a question. I have heard you say about personal hygiene in rural areas. So I have experienced some cases like working at the Imam Open University in India, the girls there get it. So how do you want to sensitize the youth towards a better development of the society, like a few ways?
So, how I look at this, the way I sensitize myself, I don't have the political background or political background. And I was studying society. I was studying each and every institution that was happening in the world. I took an incident. So I was trying to understand. And at the same time, there's an confusion in one of them saying, like, which idea was like ideology. For me, always it's a middle point. Because it's not about today I'm there, tomorrow I'm going to come there. The problem is, you have to be consistent. Today I'm trying to say something. It's not that today if I'm not there, I don't want you to get down in your spirits. Whether I'm there in the political field or not, I said, whatever you believe in, take it forward within your own spirit. And how much ever you're capable of doing. Maybe sometimes it's just a word. Sometimes a simple action is enough for you. Not necessarily you have to do bigger things. Even a small thing can do.
So I have grown up studying about communism and Marxism at school. I said I have grown up studying about Marxism and communism at school, and I want my next generation to study about Pawanism like that at school.
There are other results in this universe. For me, it's not that. Whatever is good, there are other principles and values which are living embodiment, like Gandhiji and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. There are enough. We can follow them and we can do the right things. We can make right things happen in our country and in society.
Sir, this is Sankeet. Sir, this side. This is Sankeet. So we have heard so much about this generalization term of youth coming into politics, or this emotion of so we have to make a better India, better country, whatever. But what is your specific on healthcare policy, education policy? Would you be encouraging debates? Because last year there was a decrease of 59% spending in Andhra Pradesh alone for healthcare, and 19% spending decrease in just in education. And we have total expenditure which came up 20% last year alone in Andhra Pradesh, and total revenue was down by 1%. So this is a bigger, broader perspective of it. Would you encourage debates rather than just going out and talking about emotions? And would you create that platform of actual debates and actual policies?
So unless I carry my ideology forward, if I would be doing what I was doing, you would have done it. And any growth is organic. It cannot happen overnight. For me, there is progress is there. And what you're saying is to highlight the educational issues and health issues, what kind of policy. For me, I have to bring in a lot of stakeholders who has the expertise and who has the experience. So I'm creating a common platform. So for example, the reason why I'm coming to this kind of platform is to meet people like you, to make you understand, maybe in this way they connect with other people out there. So I'm going to create the Janasena kind of platform so we can become in touch.
Mr. Kalyan, what may be busy chatting with influence in politics, but where are the representatives of your party? Even they seem to have gone into operating. Your representatives of your party are neither seen promoting any or supporting any social cause except promoting your social media. Your principles or ideals may be inspiration, but action speaks louder than words. So, diplomacy is probably
do you think you're just me alone? Do you think I'm able to come this far without any support? Is it not possible?
My question to you is, you actually my question to you is, you've given the reasons why you don't want to enter into politics, because the politicians we have, the whole system we have. Do you think you can find 175 honest candidates to form a government in Andhra Pradesh? Or do you think you can find 190 honest candidates within the election?
Even if I find 175 honest candidates, they're likely to get the vote. So in which way we can confine them, we can confine them to be honest unless the youth are active. If they do a mistake, they will be bombarded and they will be questioned by the entire voters that are surrounded. Then only they can confine to them, they can be with us. Otherwise, they are bound to get corrupted. And it's a human mind. Human mind is bound to get corrupted unless you have to sit there and do this. But you should never stop that only. Because people are going to get corrupted, there doesn't really have to stop. You have to keep on corrupting. He's not active anymore. I don't have to come with someone.
So I now see the next generation, parents taught me about Comrade Putsalpalli Sundaraya, my grandfather and my father. For my children, I would be telling there is Pawan Sir, Pawan Kalyan. My question is that, so every politician keeps speaking on selflessness and poverty and stuff. But as you are speaking about good bad politics, I never heard any politician speaking about the homeless people. There is never any memorandum on that one. And I have seen many programs like Name-Citing and one that were talking about these organizations working for these people. So is there any ideology that you're following? Do you got all these, when we go Hyderabad and see all the traffic signals and people start thinking that is where the youth of India is being there. So is there any ideological philosophy that you want to start and eradicate this one?
So to eradicate any issue, it's not an easy job. You have to be pragmatic. And in this time, no, I have the will and heart, but I have the heart to do it. Unless I clear the lot of stakeholders to address the issue, it will take time.
Thank you, sir.
So I just want to ask you a question. You want dedicated youth to enter the politics. So if I am suppose everything is there in second life in the country and want to join Janasena, how you want to support me? What role I can play in Janasena?
If you want to support you work for it, then I can I want in which way you can support me. In which way you can, because I am doing, I am not asking anyone's support. I said I'm just doing whatever you can do individual at the same time. When you believe in me, in which way you can contribute, in which way you can do. And you should ask me, like I said, what is the platform where you can communicate? That is the question. I'm creating a NRI platform which will be headed by Mehul of Howard, and I'm going to teach his whereabouts so you can use the contact point for me. Yeah, unless I'm creating an NRI organization and should be he's one of the prominent people who take it. not money, it's your good thought.
Those who are Q&A, please do not answer questions.